Hey, hi everyone. My name is Amit Pandit, and this is my first demo video. And in this demo, I'm going to explain the end-to-end flow of this payment integrated system in the e-commerce application. So we will understand that how this payment integrated system will interact with the merchant app and interact with this payment service provider. So before we are getting the underhood of this architecture of the flow, we will understand that why do we need this payment integrated system separately? So to understand that why do we need payment integrated systems separately? So to answer this question, it is very simple. So nowadays, most of the companies wanted to focus on their core business logic and in their customer satisfaction. So they don't want to waste their time on this complex stuff like as we are all are aware of that this payment handling the payment is a complex task and integrating them in a app is also a complex thing. So company wants to focus on their core logic. So the company wants to focus on their core logics, core logics, product and customer satisfaction. Since the they handling since the handling the payment is a complex task. So it is better to have it separately. And the second reason is nothing but whenever we're dealing with this payment or the online payment, there is always a concern of security. So suppose if there would be not any payment integrated system, so the merchant app will run on this client browser, and there is a highly chances that that browser might get hacked by the hacker, and the many credentials would be manipulated or accessed by the hacker. So it is better to have this payment integrated system separately that will enhance the security and enhance the business logic of this merchant app because of the separation. So what's the it it adds a extra security layer. Okay, so these two are the main reason. So now I will explain you the terminologies that we are need to understand before we get into this architecture. So the first terminology is nothing but this merchant app or merchant, and the second terminology is nothing but payment integrated system. Payment integrated system, and third one is nothing but PSP. It is nothing but a payment service provider. So the first one is nothing but a merchant. This merchant is nothing but it could be a person or a business who sells the goods or products. And the next one is nothing but a this payment integrated system. So it is nothing but a backend system that will connect the merchant application to multiple third-party payment provider. So it helps to connect merchant with multiple third-party payment provider. Or it helps the merchant accept payment smoothly without via credit card or UPI or wallets. So we don't need any extra machine or app for each method. So yeah, this is the main feature of this payment integrated system. And the next one is nothing but a payment service provider. So this payment service provider is nothing but a company. This is a company that helps the merchant to accept the online payments. So this company helps the merchant to accept digital payment. So these are the short intro about these things. This payment service provider includes providing payment gateways, handling merchant onboarding, managing the transactions, processing, and supporting multiple payment methods such as card, UPI, and wallet, and etc. So these three are the main terminologies. There are multiple, there are many more, but these three are meant to understand our end-to-end flow. And in this we are going to use Trustly provider, Trustly PSP. So this Trustly is nothing but a PSP, payment service provider. It is mainly operated in Europe. So this Trustly payment provider helps the consumer to make the real time payments. So it helps the users to make real time payments. So this is nothing but a short intro about these technologies. So now we will understand that end-to-end flow of this architecture. So there's going to be a merchant app. So I have choose here some logos to make it more clear and understandable. So there's going to be a merchant app. We call it as a merchant app. Okay. And then there's going to be a payment integrated system that we are going to build in this payment integrated system. And then there's going to be a PSP, that is nothing but a payment service provider. So in our case, we are going to use this Trustly. So there's going to be a payment service provider. This is nothing but a PS Trustly. So this component is nothing but a PSP. And then there is so in this merchant app, there is going to be a database in each application. So merchant app will have their own separate database, and our system is going to have their own separate database, and PSP will have their own separate database. separate database that will make a system more scalable. So this is the reason we have the separate database. So this is the structure, and we will understand that how these three things will interact with each other and make our payment successful. So there's going to be a customer who wants to make a payment. So he came to this cart page, and there's going to be a checkout button. So when a customer will come and wants to make a payment, so when a customer wants to make a payment, so it won't happen directly that this merchant app will directly pass a API call to this PSP and the communication happens. This is not going to be happening. So there's not a direct communication between this merchant app and this PSP, and not even with this merchant app with our payment ticketing system, because our system is not aware of that how many products it is merchant app or the customer has added, or how many products are available. So this will be verified by the customer backend system. So first of all, the customer's backend frontend will interact with the backend. So here it will first interact with the backend and verify whether the products are available or not, and all required things. So this is going to be the first step. And the second step, when it gets verified, it will mark a API call. This is going to be, it will call an API call, deposit API call, API call to our system. So our system will redirect this API call to this payment service provider. So it will call our payment service provider and deposit API call. There's going to be a deposit API call. So once this deposit, once our system will make a deposit API call to this respective payment service provider, so what will happen? This Trustly will give us a this Trustly will give us it will give us a checkout URL, checkout URL plus the order ID of the customer. So this is going to be happen internally. First, what will happen? The front end will interact with the backend of this merchant app. Then this backend system will verify everything. Then it will call a API call to our system. Then our system will invoke a API call to this PSP, and PSP will return us a checkout URL and order ID. Then our system will give a checkout URL to this backend of this merchant app. There's going to be a checkout URL and order ID. So once the checkout URL came here to the merchant app, it will redirect to a particular posted payment page. So I will tell you that what it is. So once this backend will give the once the backend will receive a checkout URL, then the backend will interact with this front end and redirect to this checkout URL. So now think who has given us this URL? Trustly has provided this checkout URL. So it will be deployed on the Trustly system itself. So there's going to be a page designed by the Trustly. So there's going to be a page which is designed by the Trustly, right? So this is the page. So we can then call it as a checkout page, and the customer is supposed to redirect it to this checkout page. So from here, the customer would get redirected to this checkout page. Yeah, this is how it will happen. So the customer will get redirected to that particular page. So this page is also called as this hosted payment page. So there is a term called hosted payment page. So this is also called as a hosted payment page. So yeah, this is the hosted payment page. And hosted payment page means they are hosting the payment. They are hosting the payment page for us only. So the TSP will host the page for us to make a payment. Now once the hosted payment page redirect, once the customer will redirect to this hosted payment page, so what will happen in this hosted payment page? The trust is going to have a, since the trust is integrated with the multiple or the hundreds of the banks, so there's going to be a list of banks here, and the customer has to choose their respective banks. So once the customer, so once the customer choose their banks, and there is one more catch. Since this is deployed by this TSP, so this TSP won't capture the banking or banking detail and the credentials of the user. Okay, so this is not going to happen here. So this page again going to make a API call to this payment service provider. So what will happen here? This host payment page will make a API call to this TSP. So it will this API call will tell the TSP that the customer has chosen the respective bank. So suppose the customer has chosen this particular bank. Customer has this particular bank, and he has chosen this bank from this list. So this call of this hosted payment page will tell the trustee that customer has chosen this particular bank, and we call this bank as a issuer bank also. So this is another terminology, issuer bank. We also call it as a issuer. So now Trustly will going to interact with this issuer bank. So Trustly will make a call to this issuer bank, and this Trustly will tell the issuer bank that this particular customer wants to make a payment. So, so it will make a call to this particular issuer bank. Then that bank will give the URL to this Trustly. So this bank will going to give the URL to this Trustly. So it will provide the URL to the Trustly. Yeah. So it is going to provide a URL to Trustly. Then once the URL is provided by this bank to the PSP. So there may be a pop-up will open on this hosted page. So that pop-up would be nothing but a bank page. So there is going to be a button. So after clicking on selecting the particular bank, there's going to be a pop-up comes. So this pop-up is nothing but a bank page. So this pop-up is nothing but a bank page where customer has to log in and enter their all credentials related to the payment. And there's another catch that here also the trustly is not capturing the banking details. The URL is given by the bank and bank will capture all the details. There's not going to be involvement of this PSP anymore. So and the next process nothing but so on this so once this credential will be added by this customer, then it will directly go to the issuer bank and all the credential would be captured by this bank. All the credentials captured, credential captured by this bank only. Okay, and the system will capture the detail with the help of OTP or any other process for verification. So, so their bank will know that the customer has approved the payment. So this bank will get to know that the customer has successfully added the credentials and will get authenticated by this bank for the payment. So here, listen here carefully. Now only the bank knows that the customer has approved the payment. So this only bank knows that customer has approved the payment because and there is no involvement of this PSP payment system on one side. Only bank knows that the customer has approved the payment. So bank page will show the successful message on their page. So there's going to be a successful message here. Let me show you successful message. There's going to be a successful message shown here on this page itself. Okay, it is going to be that successful message. So once the message is received, so here again the front end is showing the successful message. Like here it will be shown on the front end itself. So there is a highly chances that it can be hacked or manipulated by the others because it is running on the client browser. So there is a highly chances that it would might get hacked. So 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 yeah, so we will have to handle it from the back end. So for that, nowadays most of the company using this notification system and webhook. So company uses this notification system, notification and webhook. This is what company is using for their is going to be this notification and webhook. Yeah. So what happened is from this here the backend system interacts with each other. So now this issuer bank will communicate back to this trustee system via an API call. So this bank will make an API call to this TSP. So now trustee will know that whether the payment was successful or not. So here TSP will know TSP will know whether the payment was successful or not. So yeah, this is going to happen here. So with this API call, PST will get to know that whether the payment has been successful or not. So from once the trustee get to know that the payment was successful or not, now the trustee will send us a notification with the payment status. So trustee will send us a notification payment status. Notification payment status. Status. So we will get the payment status from by the PSP. And parallel a success URL will also be sent to the merchant app. So there's going to be a success URL from this from here. A success URL will be passed to this front end of this merchant app. So there's going to be a success URL. Merchant success URL. So once our system will receive a notification payment status from the trust list, and at that time only the merchant success URL will be passed to this merchant app. So this success URL will not going to be from our system. So this will be from this PSP itself to the front end only. So in browser, it will only show the message. So only the browser will show the, and the client application will not give the product based on the browser redirection. So from here, the client application will not give the product to this particular customer because it is a front end communication. So they will so this client will wait for our system so that whether so our system will tell whether the payment was successful or not. So this is how it will going to happen. So as we get the notification status in our backend, we'll update the status in our backend. So from here, as we receive this notification status, so we will update in our DB. So we will do updating our status here in DB. Once after updating the status here, so there are so we will make to understand that so this notification we have to send to this backend of this merchant app. So now there are two ways that we can do this. The first way is nothing but there's a two way of communication happen. So first one would be nothing but a synchronous synchronous communication, and the second one is nothing but a synchronous communication. So in synchronous communication, what happens? There's there's going to be a API call. So we can make a API call from here also to directly to this. And there's another going to be a let me delete it first. And there's another method that is nothing but a asynchronous communication. So this communication will happen using a message broker. So there are multiple message brokers. So few of them are Kafka, ActiveMQ, and RabbitMQ. So now so there is a one more better way of doing this communication is nothing but asynchronous communication, because it might take a time to receive this notification. So for that there's going to be a system for, let's say, uh, another system that we are going to make, that is nothing but ActiveMQ, right? So there's going to be this ActiveMQ. So our system will add the notification to this ActiveMQ, and then there will be some system in this backend itself. In this merchant app, there's going to be a system in this merchant app that will understand or which will listen this message by this ActiveMQ. So this message will be listened by the system, and this will send the message to the backend of this merchant app. So this asynchronous communication is considered as a better performance. So our system will give the both options on the basis of requirement. So this will notify the merchant tab as I have told you, and a successful URL will be sent to the database, and it will give redirect to this front end, and the customer will be able to make a payment successfully. So now there's a thing that we need to understand, that there's going to be a this is for the successful transaction that I have explained. So there's going to be a cancel, pending, or the credit or debit notification also. So Tusk is going to provide us a cancel notification, successful notification, and let me put it in this way. Trustly going to provide us a success successful notification, cancel notification, vacation, pending, and there's going to be a debit and the credit notification based on the customer requirement. So for our understanding, we will going to understand this pending notification system. Okay, so we will understand this. So Trustly has its own bank. So there's going to be a bank called this Acquirer Bank. Okay, so Trustly will have its own bank called as the Acquirer Bank. It is going to be called as the Acquirer Bank. Okay, this will be a Acquirer Bank of the Trustly. Yeah. So moving to the acquired bank of the trustee. So this bank has nothing to do with us. So there is nothing connection between this bank and our system. We are just understanding the payment pending state. So as soon as this issuer bank notify us, means PSP, if the message, so once as soon as this issuer bank notifies this trustee that the payment has happened, but the money has not received yet by the trustee account, which is acquired bank account, then trustee will notify us with a pending notification. Then there's going to be a pending notification there. Okay, so that payment has been done by this money. So there's going to be that this payment has been done here, but the money has not received to this acquired bank. So there's going to be a pending state. So this is called as the pending state. So make a note here. So whenever any merchant system wants to use Trustly, okay, whenever this merchant app wants to make a use of this Trustly, then he has to open an account with Trustly. So there's going to be a merchant account. So there's going to be one more account called that as a merchant account. Okay. This is a merchant bank account. So if merchant wants to use this PSP, then he has to open a merchant account with the Trustly. And this merchant account would be nothing but a wallet account. We can say it as a wallet account, and that would be managed by Trustly itself. Okay, this is going to happen here. So now, once this payment received by this acquirer bank, so the PSP related logic will be performed here on this transaction, and the fees will be deducted. And after the fees deduction, because fees will be deducted because this PSP will charge their charges, so there is going to be a fee deduction, and they will make a deposit to this merchant account. So after the payment deduction, after that it will going to make this deposit to this merchant account. Okay, so this is how it will be working. So in real world, merchant is going to have their own physical account. So all this money would be added to that physical account. So there's going to be one more bank here, and that is nothing but a physical account. We can call it as a linked account, linked bank account. Okay. So after the fee deduction, the money will be added to this actual physical bank account of the customer. So let me show you that how it will happen in more easy way. So there's going to be a bank, okay, and after the bank, there's going to be a acquirer bank. So suppose customer has has make a payment of 1,000 rupees. So the 1,000 rupees will be deducted from the customer bank, and it will be added to this acquirer bank. Okay. Now what will happen? This acquirer bank will deduct the fees, fee charges will be added, fee charges will be added. So let's suppose it will deduct 100 rupees. Okay. Then after the all the charges deduction, it is going to be added in the merchant merchant account. We can call it as also as a wallet account that is handled by this trustee itself for this merchant. And after that, this suppose he has received after that the amount will get to this. Let me put it in this. After that, it will get to this linked bank account, linked bank account. So this process will take, we can say that 2 to 3 days it might take once the money is received. So there is going to be a like 900 rupees received by the bank. Okay. So this is how the communication and the things going to be happen there. Let me put it here. Yes. So this is the end-to-end flow of this all payment, and I hope that you love this and you want to understand the few concepts related to it. So thank you, and I will cover this second demo, and where I will explain this microservice.